My colander and wrap it up in aluminum foil for you.
Good morning, everyone. Okay, that is the reaction I wanted because I said to her, look, first of all, guys, welcome to the show. This is the first introductory show, and we are talking about aliens. Now, the key to this show is that Susana and I did not talk about this show at all. No. The only thing I said to her is I hope people don't think that I'm the crazy tin hat lady.
Right?
But we're going to get rid of this because this thing is uncomfortable.
That is hilarious. That was priceless.
Yes! I got her on that because I wasn't wearing that in the back room until she said that.
Oh, my God. And it was so funny because I was thinking about it. I was like, let's get my calendar and then put it on my head with aluminum foil and have these antennas coming out. And I didn't.
Hello, Angela. Welcome to the show. You are the first. Well, actually, Chu was here a minute ago, but I think he left because he came way too early, but that's all right. Welcome, Chu. Welcome, Angela.
Hi, Angela.
This is our very first show. Now, we know, it's early in the morning. That is okay because you know something? You could always watch the replay afterwards. You do see I have a disclaimer below. I have to say this, and I'm going to repeat this. This show is for entertainment purposes only. The opinions expressed in this show, and I'm doing this by memory, so if I mess this up, but the opinions, thoughts, ideas, controversies expressed in this show are strictly for entertainment. We are not here to create any type of negativity, any fighting. We're not here to knock down any person's individual beliefs. Yeah. We just want to present possibly alternative thoughts that are out there, questions. I mean, think of it this way. We're like the little kids in the room. It's like, why is the sky blue? Why is Hello, Papa J. Hello, Elizabeth. Welcome,
Elizabeth, Papa J. Mwah, mwah.
And I think I am so happy that Susana agreed to this because I reached out to her and I'm like, I have this idea. She's like, I'm on board. I didn't there was no convincing whatsoever.
No, I was like, yeah, sure.
Here I'm thinking I'm going to okay, let me just ask. Maybe we could do one show. She's like, no, right now. Let's do it.
Oh my God.
So I'm very, very happy to be here. Thoughts?
Thank you for inviting me and thinking of me. That is amazing. I'm super excited about this show. I think it's going to be hilarious because what if? Seriously, what if?
Hello, fly on the wall. I think that's my passion too, because there are so many contradicting ideas. There's so many thoughts out there. And it's like, what if that really is the way things are? What if what we are known is completely not what it's supposed to be or not what if there's either a darker side or maybe there's a brighter side? We don't know. But we're going to present
both.
Exactly. And we're just going to present some ideas. Now, I have some notes and some directions that we can take this. But I said, Susana, I'm throwing you the ball. You start this party off because, like I said, neither one of us talked about the show at all. We are completely winging this. It is pure. And we also encourage the audience. Now,
Yes.
obviously, when we are talking, we might not be able to address every single comment that comes up. But if a question comes up, a thought comes up, or anything like that, I will highlight it and we will discuss it and we'll see where this goes and
Seriously.
how far down the rabbit hole are we going to go.
Okay. So, first question. Do you believe in aliens?
This goes into a segue of this thing. Okay. I will say this. And believe it or not, if anybody notices in the corner, I always, for every sale and every show, I always put a question on my community page. And that happens to be one of my questions is involving UFOs. Have you ever seen a UFO? Do I believe in aliens? Okay, remember, entertainment purposes only. I believe that there are different types of species out there. Because if you really believe in the vast universe and stuff like that, there is no way that we are all alone and it's just us. Do you call them aliens? Who knows what you call them? You could call them aliens. You could call them angels. You could call them demons. You can call them any word they are. You could call them, which this is the new word, biologics. I'll talk about
Biologics.
That. Oh,
I'll take that one.
We're going to go into a segue then.
And, I have not heard of the name biologics.
Brand new. I will talk about this. Yeah. Oh, we're going to do some. I
have not done any homework on this, guys. I told you I was not going to.
Oh, me? Every day I do homework because this to me is fascinating. I'm the one that's like scrolling through boards and people send me stuff. And I do the doom scrolling before I go to sleep, watching videos. And when something's interesting, ... And then, okay, so the answer is yes. I do believe we're not alone. Do I believe in the terms of how the narrative describes? Not necessarily. Uh-oh, she's being summoned.
I'm telling you, it's when I'm not doing anything, right?
Everybody contacts you.
It's always like that.
Everybody contacts you. Which, let's throw it out to the audience who's out there. Do you guys believe in aliens? I want to hear your thoughts out there. But yes, I totally believe there are other life forms. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. And I'll go into details with that. Susana, should I ask the same question? What do you believe?
I definitely believe. Now, there's two parts of me. Okay. There's the biblical side, and then there's the scientific side. And I know one negates the other, but I do kind of believe that there is something out there. Like you, I don't know what the terminology would be, aliens or whatever, but I do believe that there's something else out there. Yes. Of course, I believe in God. I believe in biblical, I do. But God also said, do not put any other God before me. So that means there's other gods or something. But I believe in my God. But do I believe in aliens? But I'm not idolizing them. So, I don't know. It's crazy.
It is crazy.
It's so crazy. I have my strong beliefs. But then there's like this little thing that's saying, yeah, that there's little green Martians out there, per se. I'm not saying that they are, but.
Okay, let's talk a little bit because this is a perfect segue to what, and it's getting into one of my topics. Does anybody know what happened only 3 weeks ago on July 26, 2023? 3 weeks ago, we're talking about something so recent. And that's why and I'll say this, Susana was the one that picked the topic. I said, Susana, just pick a topic. And when she picked this topic, I'm like, perfect, because we could talk about the now. Oh, fly on the wall. Consider this. Whistleblowers have mentioned craft vehicles. Okay, fly on the wall knows exactly what I'm talking about. So let's get into this. July 26th, last month, for the first time publicly, not behind closed doors, not this, the House Oversight Committee in our Congress had the official whistleblowers of 3 whistleblowers that are coming out and confirming the existence, which they don't call them aliens, they call them biologics. So they kept using the term biologics throughout the entire hearing. And some of the things, and if anybody wants to do research this, if you guys are like me that want to jot things down, I'm going to toss out some ideas, write it down, but I'm not going to go into, but the names are David Fravor, David Grush, and Ryan Gravey. Those are the 3 whistleblowers that talked in front of Congress under oath publicly, where the congressional people were asking them questions, the House Oversight Committee. Part of the things that they were talking about was A, that yes, it is a complete government cover-up. The government has been covering up this entire time. B, they do retrieved crashed vessels, known as UAPs, which that's the new UFO term. It's no longer unidentified flying objects. It's now UAP, which is unidentified anonymous. I can't even say this. Anomalous phenomenon. So that's what they're called now. Unidentified anomalous phenomenon. Which used to be unidentified aerial phenomenon. But there's a key word why they took the word aerial out. Because they no longer study up there. They're now studying our oceans. So now these biologics come from the ocean, not necessarily space.
Oh my God, do you remember that movie that had the aliens under the ocean? The Abyss.
Abyss, yes.
Yes. That was one of my favorite, not favorite, but one of my, go to see movies because, yeah.
So they expanded the umbrella. Now, okay, this leads to a lot of segues because the question always is, when they make a change, why are they making a change? There has to be a reason behind the change. Like all these years, I mean, think about this. Since you were a kid, we've watched Star Trek, Star Wars. We've watched all kinds of aliens and stuff like that. Always to the sky, to the sky. Hello, Valerie. Mommy's in the house. We've always watched things to the sky, but now all of a sudden, we're starting to explore what's happening. But yet they're still keeping it silent, though. And here's the big thing. Why all of a sudden are they acknowledging that there's biologics now? What are they distracting us from where they flat out are saying, they're admitting, yeah, there's aliens. We covered it up this entire time. We covered it up. Yes, we retrieved spaceships. In fact, one of the things in the hearing, they were talking about that they are using reverse technology to try to reverse the technology of these crafts, which not only could levitate and fly, could also cross dimensions. And that's what the government is studying. And this is flat out being said publicly. And my question is, and this is why all the theorists, the sea theorists, I can't say that word, but why the theorists are going crazy right now, because it's like, why are they telling the government this? Like, why are they telling the public this? Why is the government flat out saying that, yeah, it all exists?
So why do you think that they never said anything before?
Okay, that goes into the deep. I figure there's like layers and layers of rabbit holes. So depending upon how deep you want. The one thing is, okay, yes, there's aliens. Okay, that's an interesting thing. Let's go further. Have aliens been here this entire time? Are they the one actually in control? Let's go deeper. Are we actually the aliens because humans were never meant to be on this planet at all? Because we are not designed for this planet if you look at it from a biological standpoint compared to how some of the animals are. And it just goes deeper and deeper. And dare I say this? I probably can't say this. I shouldn't say this. But there is a guy that if you read up about him, and if I even say his name, it's not a good thing to say. So I'm just going to go like this. Okay? If you know who this is, he brings up very, very controversial topics. In fact, they try to shut him down completely. But if you hear his theory on what is actually going on, it is mind-blowing. Completely mind-blowing. And you won't hear about it, but he goes on and he talks about the whole idea how we are already how do I even say this? This is like a scary thing. Should I even go into his theory? Because I think I made you silent, Susana. I'm sorry.
No, because I'm learning.
Okay, so basically his theory is, and I've got to be careful how I say this, is that there are beings. If Melanie goes missing, exactly, if I go missing or if this channel gets shut down, you know what's going on. Okay, so his theory basically is this.
I'm just her sidekick. I don't know her.
I'll use the word elite, okay? So the belief is that the elites are actually a entity being. And their purpose is they want to harvest energy because we are all energy. Humans are these energetic beings. And if you read up on the whole religion aspect, because we have a will, everybody's coming in. Hello, Wonder Woman. Hello, Gettysburg. Because we actually have willpower, they want to harness the energy of us, turn us into a computer Borg, like a whole cyborg thing, attach us to AI, and filter all our thoughts and consciousness through the AI, which interesting how AI is coming out and everything like that. Filter it through the AI so they know exactly what's coming in each dimension. So Xana's like, what? wait, hold on. Wait, I did say, hold on. I did say this is going to get a little weird, didn't I? Bear in mind, guys, I do not believe this. This is just stuff that's out there, okay?
Holy, that's really deep.
It gets even deeper than what I just said. But
I have a very good imagination.
But he goes into details. Whoa. He goes into details, and this spans a whole mess of theories. He goes into details as to why we all have social security cards and birth certificates, because each of us is a scanned commodity, and our birth certificate and social security number is our barcode for when they come and harvest our energy and use our bodies and eat us and
get the hell out of here.
These are actual, I'm telling you, these are theories that are out there.
Oh my God. I always said I had a low jack up my butt.
If aliens have a higher intelligence, they can stay as many light years away as they can. Hello.
Yes.
Yeah, everybody got he's trying to bid. There's nothing being bid, Rich. There's no 250. We're not doing an auction.
Oh my God.
It gets so deep because, like you said, if you believe in the fact that we are commodities, because this leads into the whole thing of what's going to happen with the destruction.
Commodity. What do I have to give?
Your energy, your life force. They're energetic vampires that suck from us.
My light sometimes in my body wants to be poked out, so don't come get my energy because I don't have that much.
Laura, in 1947, wait, what do we got? 1947, that aircraft are kept in mountains in Albuquerque. That is a fact. That is correct. And they even said that at the, that's Roswell. That is so true.
Yeah. Hey, Laura. Mwah.
So it depends on how deep you want to get. I mean, it gets on and on. Because his theory, he has an answer for every single thing, and it just goes on and on and on. Because particularly if you've been following our economic crisis and what's been going on with the devaluation of the American dollar and what's been going on with BRICS, it ties everything together.
Aliens are coming to get our money.
Well, okay, perfect. Right? Let's talk about that. Does anybody know what Project Bluebeam is, or have heard the term Project Bluebeam?
I know Melanie Lightbeam.
Okay, so this is where religion comes into play. It really is. There is a belief that the government is going to be staging an all-out alien invasion. So the belief is that is why they're starting to introduce that the aliens are real, in order to introduce an invasion that is going to wipe out the planet, however, wipe out just enough so that the saviors can come in, create the new world order where everybody is on the same page under one government and one rule. And by saving the day from these aliens, they now control the people and we become enslaved to the one ruler.
Well,
Wait, is that another? Is that another half of it?
that's like God coming back, and like he said that he would, and everything would disappear, and then we would start fresh. So
Mm-hmm.
to me,
Yes, these are biblical. That's why the religious community is going crazy right now, because everything that was prophesied in Revelations is actually happening right now.
it
Everything,
is
absolutely
a lot of the
everything.
things.
So I'm not trying to knock down the Bible or anything like that, but whoever actually reads the Bible word for word, if you take everything in there and apply it to what's going on now, it is literally it's the game plan. That's exactly what's happening right now. But Rich is right, because we have the Antichrist is supposed to come first. And that is the theory on who's going to be the leader of the New World Order when the aliens attack us, wipe out 80% of the planet, and who is left would be the Antichrist.
Hey, what's that show on Hulu about the women are only to like have babies and
Handmaid's Tale?
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm down with everything else, but I'm not being no handmaid because it's just not going to happen.
The idea is, okay,
I
I'm
there's
not,
there's so
okay.
much crap out there that it's.
But that's just it. The crap out there, it makes you wonder, okay, what if it's actually the truth? Like, what if everything you've been taught is not real? And this is all a lie. And it's finally coming into play, like, what is reality? It's messing people up. And I mean, okay, I don't know how everybody else feels. Our world is completely messed up right now.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, the stuff that's coming out, the theories that are coming out, the incidences, I mean, people are just losing their minds. And the question is why. Now, Blue Beam will, in fact, discredit Christianity. Or will it? The Christians, believe it or not, this is like really biblical stuff. The Bible is specific, and nowhere have I read about aliens. Maybe I better reread. Elizabeth, perfect segue. I'm going to give you the answer. Okay, perfect segue. I'm going to highlight this for a second. Now, first you got to look at what exactly is the Bible, okay? Bible is a collection of stories and various books. Now, my question is, why, if it is a collection of the Word of God throughout the years, do they keep adding and subtracting to the Bible? Why? One book in particular that they took away from the Bible and might be the most important book of them all is the book of Enoch. So if anybody has read the Bible with the book of Enoch, and you will find it in older versions of the Bible. So if you have, like, when I say old, we're talking like before 1875. So if you have a Bible like in the 1840s, 30s, something like that, there will be a book of Enoch within the Bible. That talks about the complete alien race. It talks about the UFOs. It talks about the battle between good and evil involving a different race. It also talks about the history of Noah and how he became into play, because Noah was actually a byproduct, supposedly, of the giants and humans of the Nephilim and coming together to create another race. So, yes, Fly, there were, I think this is interesting. They're referred to as watchers, not aliens. We get into different terminology. So, Fly on the Wall definitely is a fly on the wall and knows exactly what they're talking about.
Bonnie's in here. Hey, Bonnie. Mwah.
Hello, crafty Bonnie Boo. Welcome to the show. If I ignore you guys, I'm sorry. Calcivania is in the show. So, think about how many thousands of years it took the human to invent the telephone, and now 149 years, look at the technology you have. Papa J, I have a question for you. Well, I have a question for everybody, even you, Susana. What about the technology to build the pyramids and the technology
Did you hear, speaking of that, sorry, but did you hear that there's a pyramid down in Antarctica. It's underneath
The ice.
the ice.
Mm-hmm. And okay, Susana, we could do a show strictly on Antarctica. That Antarctica is an amazing that we have to save a topic on, please. If we keep doing this and we don't get shut down, and somewhere along the line Melanie doesn't go missing, yeah, I'm saying this now, guys. If I go missing or something happens, it wasn't me.
This is a figment of your imagination. I am still gone. I'm not here. I'm not on YouTube. This is a robotic thing that Melanie put together. Hey, Pam.
Like I said, you know what it is? If anything out of this comes out, we want you to be entertained. We want you to laugh. And basically, we want you just to think, okay, so Antarctica, that is a subject for the future. But yes, there are pyramids everywhere. In fact, you know where the most pyramids are in the world?
Not in Egypt?
Not in Egypt, no. And this is interesting. In the United States.
In the United States?
Mm-hmm.
Where?
Because there is a theory, and this is an interesting theory, and this is a biblical theory, that United States is actually the biblical Egypt. If you follow the Bible...
You're frozen.
I'm frozen?
You're back.
They're shutting me down. Look at that. They're shutting me down. If you follow the biblical versions of how the geographic lands are, there is a whole story that the biblical version of Egypt and Garden of Eden all takes place on this side, not in over there. That we are the original. And there's a whole weird thing about that. And then the whole idea of Garden of Eden is actually supposed to be the North Pole. Which, this is the Mandela effect that I have been going crazy about, because I kept telling people, and I know I said this, her mind is blown, forget it. I'm like, I'm going to give Susana, and she's going to be like, I can't deal with this. This girl's crazy.
Oh my goodness.
I talked about this in the past. I talked about Mandela effects, and I always said, I remember on the globe there used to be a North Pole. It was there. And everybody's like, there is no North Pole. Oh, no. There's the whole idea with the North Pole, with the 4 rivers straight from the Bible, that the Garden of Eden with the Tree of Life and all that other stuff was at the North Pole.
North Pole has Santa. I don't care what you say. Santa Claus is there. And that's it. That's all I want to know about the North Pole.
I need coffee. This is too deep. Oh, wonderful. Go get coffee. Have a good one.
Where's she going?
Yeah, I think she's leaving. She's like, I can't deal with this. I'm saying, well, I will say this. From a religious standpoint, I am not here to knock down anybody's religion. I am not here to spread lies or anything. Like I said, this is entertainment purposes only. Whatever I say is not necessarily what I believe, but it's just, this is the stuff that there are people talking about, and they will give evidence, they will give facts, they'll give stories, they'll give this and that,
So does that mean, let's get this straight, if there's biologicals, is that what you're calling them?
Yeah, biologics they call it.
Biologics. If the biologics, right? And then Elizabeth said, where does Santa live? Exactly. Santa was from the North Pole, right?
But if you look up
that he uses one of those spaceships to get to everybody's house.
But see, that's the thing. If you look up where the North Pole is right now, there's no, quote, land. They say it's nothing more than it's just a spot in the middle of the water.
No, it's land. It's up there.
No, it's not. Google it. I'm telling you, that's why I was going crazy with the Mandela effect. And I'm like, since when is the North Pole not land? I always remember there was land on top and land on the bottom. And when you twist the globe around, but here's the thing. There's the whole thing. If you want to go on another segue, are we even a globe or are we flat Earth? That's another topic too.
Oh, get that. No, I'm sorry. We are a globe. We are a ball.
It doesn't say that in the Bible. The Bible says we're flat.
Well, the Bible didn't know back then. They didn't know. They didn't have boats to go to all of these different, like America and stuff like that. They didn't know that that existed.
But here's the question: how did they build the pyramid? I mean, how were the pyramids built with such precision? Why are there in the hieroglyphics? Why are there UFOs? Seriously, why are there UFOs in the Egyptian hieroglyphics etched in where they're showing floating spaceships and they're showing helicopters and all this in the hieroglyphics within the pyramids from thousands and thousands and thousands of years ago?
And that guy that was doing that, he had Parkinson's in his hand, so his was just poor thing was going crazy. No,
Enoch, another like Greek mythology. Well, that's just it. I mean, Susana even said this. It talks about do not idolize other gods. So even the Bible is acknowledging that there are other gods.
right.
It doesn't necessarily go into details. But if you go through different books, particularly the books that are taken away, and if you look at something like the Dead Sea Scrolls and different religious texts, they talk about various gods, various beings,
Yeah.
various life forms.
Hmm.
And the question is, are we necessarily the only life form? That's why when Suzanne asked me, she's like, do you believe in aliens? Yeah, because I do not believe that we are the only life form in this vast
Universe.
Yes. Hello, Joyce. Welcome to the show.
But it is kind of mind blowing if you really think about it, right? The universe, there's no end and no beginning. It just is. It just keeps going. Doesn't that blow your mind? Like, because we always know, like, from beginning, there's a beginning and there's an end. And this has no beginning and no end. I mean, it just continues and continues. And it's like, and like, where did God come from? Where did the aliens come from?
We don't know. And I think our mindset, we will never know. We'll always question, but there's like the belief that the people who, the biologics, are so far advanced that we are actually we're literally like the what's the term? We're the monkeys of the evolutionary. You know what I mean? We're like we're so at the bottom of our evolutionary journey that yeah, it's not what that means. It doesn't say there are other gods. Okay, I mean that's an interpretation. If the Bible simply said something like I am the one and only, that would be it. But because it does make an end, not only that, if I'm not mistaken, if you look at the Old Testament, they worshipped other gods. There was other religions besides. You should introduce Susana to Mick West.
Who's that?
I don't know who Mick West is. I'm gonna write that down. Yeah, if anybody says something interesting, I write it down. I'll look it up later on. I don't know who Mick West is. So. A man had God for every little thing till Jewish mono. Until okay. But we were talking about the pyramids.
Mhm.
If you look at some of the hieroglyphics, because first of all, we still don't know how they made the pyramids. The pyramids are just absolute perfection, like mathematically, and all the pyramids are along the Earth's ley lines. That itself makes it an interesting topic.
Now, I did hear that I'm going to say the aliens apparently built the pyramids.
Did they? Let's just say we do not have the technology as advanced as we are. Elizabeth's like, yeah, Melanie's going to go missing. I love you too. With as advanced as we are not able to recreate the pyramid the way they were made, with how the stone was cut, how it was built, how the seams are completely perfect, that they said you can't even put like a credit card or something through the seams. It is literally like melted together in perfection.
I think once the aliens come down for sure and they show the pyramids are all going to open up like this, and all these things are going to be shooting.
Well, there is a belief that the pyramids harness the energy of the, I'll just say energy of the atmosphere, because we use energy differently than how maybe past civilizations have used. And I'm good. Sandra, there is no sale today. This is strictly a talk show. This is the once a week talk show. We just started it today. So I am going to have a sale on Saturday, though. So if anybody was looking for a sale, this is not a sale. This is a talk show.
You guys want a sale? I have a lot of comic books. I have 230 comic books that I need to get rid of. And I don't do auctions anymore.
Rich says, God is an alien to us because we can never fully understand his greatness. Oh, don't introduce her to Mick. I've never heard of Mick West. That's why I'm going to research like who it is. He's like, don't introduce it to, it's a joke.
He's aseptic.
Which, you know, something like I said, I'm going to stress this. I'm going to keep saying this, and I have my little disclaimer. What we say here is not meant to knock anybody's beliefs. It's not meant, all it is it's just questioning. Because the way I look at it, I think this is the greatest analogy that I could think of. Let's say you go into an ice cream store. You're going into an ice cream store, and they have a little tiny counter of ice cream. And in the ice cream, they got vanilla, chocolate, and strawberry. And you're like, ooh, what choices? Am I going to get vanilla or am I going to get chocolate or strawberry? But then all of a sudden they say, well, we have another thing. Oh, and in this one they got, maybe they have like chocolate chip cookie dough and butter rum and this and that. And before you know it, you have a whole line of ice creams to choose from, and there's so many different choices, and you can mix and match and blend it. But then all of a sudden they say, well, guess what? Not only do we have ice cream, we now have cake. So who wants cake? So now you can go to another window, and there's all these cakes and danishes and cupcakes and cookies, and you can keep going around and around. And it's like, okay, so aside from cake and cookies and danishes and ice cream, what else is for dessert? How about pickles? Here is a jar of pickles. You can have a jar of pickles for dessert. So the point is, you're going in and you're expanding your mind. That is not just these choices. There are so many choices out there.
We went from aliens to pyramids to ice cream to cake to danishes. And now I'm hungry.
Pickles.
Oh my.
Okay, sorry, Sandra. Have a good one. See, this is where people are now going to hate me because I'm bringing out the theories. So that's okay. I apologize, Sandra, but this is, like I said, pure entertainment purposes only. I enjoy I call it doom scrolling. Well, they call it doom scrolling. Basically, I will be on my phone, dong, 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 and if something comes interesting, I'm like, are they kidding me? Rich, I am still waiting, hopefully, to be probed. Let's address that. I'm going to address that for a second. Why is it that aliens are always doing probing? There's a controversy behind that.
So aliens do probing.
Anal probing. They always talk. Every single person who's been abducted by aliens talks about being anal probed.
So men must be aliens.
Why?
Because they probe.
I think, okay, if we go back to,
God.
I'm
like, you know that fly on the wall? I'm the fly on the wall.
Think about it. The Christian narratives essentially classify exactly humans as aliens. Adam and Eve created to reside in the Garden of Eden, then banished to Earth. Exactly. If we go back to that idea that we are ruled by a energy harnessing elite, I'm just backtracking for a minute. This gets into a sensitive topic, and I got to be careful with the words I use. There is belief that part of the energy harvesting is on a sexual basis. Sexual basis being with little ones. Okay? I'm trying to use my words very carefully here. All right, so the idea is, if they put the fear in people, because think about it this way, all these stories is all fear. It's all to invoke fear in somebody's head. If they invoke the fear on a sexual nature, that is creating a different form of energy to harvest. So one of the things they talk about with people who said they've been abducted by aliens is they put a chip somewhere in their body, usually in their neck, in their, which isn't that what we're doing now with the whole scan your wrist in order to buy your groceries at Whole Foods, that you get the chip implanted, and but they put the chip in the body, and then they can harness the energy, because what is the most powerful response when it comes to human nature would be love and fear. And love transcends through sex. So when they're saying about being probed, they're harnessing that response from a sexual interaction. Is that reaching or is that not reaching?
I hear what you're saying.
Susana went completely silent on this one. I have to be careful with the words I use. I have to be careful. Mel, be careful. Don't go into someone's basement.
Hey, there's a lot of bodies being found in people's basements lately.
Yes.
So, okay, not to go off that subject. Sorry.
There is, though.
Like, what the hell's going on? What is it? Like,
we can go down so many different. Fly on the Wall says the word you're looking for is innocence. Okay, there's this is right now. I'm trying to say this night. No, I got to be careful with. Okay, Sounds of Freedom. If nobody has ever heard of that movie, that is a movie you just need to at least look into. Whether you watched it or didn't watch it, just look at it. It's called Sound of Freedom. Very controversial film. It's out now. You could see it in the theaters, or maybe they took it away from the theaters. But before Oppenheimer and Barbie thing, Sound of Freedom was the movie to look at. Sound of Freedom, yes. That talks about the whole child trafficking epidemic.
Oh, I don't want to watch that.
Okay. But here's the thing. And I'm not saying you have to watch it. Just think of the whole theory. Part of the weird theory behind child trafficking is because children are innocent. They have specific vibrational energy, and their adrenochrome, which is the byproduct of what is produced when they're fear. Your adrenal glands. Your adrenal glands will produce adrenaline. If you are scared out of your mind, you will produce adrenaline. That adrenaline is what supposedly is being fed off from the elites in order to stay young, youthful, and be disease-free and be healthy and be all this other things. So Fly on the Wall is talking about innocence. That's the whole theory behind the whole child trafficking thing, which that's not mentioned in Sounds of Freedom. Let me not get that confused. They only address the child trafficking issue. Go a step further, another layer, child trafficking issue is due to the fact that they're sucking and harvesting the adrenochrome from the fear of the children. I think go even further as to why they're doing that is so that because they are the quote gods or the leaders or in control. Susana's in shock. I'm sorry, Susana. She's thinking, what the hell did I get myself into with this girl?
Oh my God.
I'm blowing your mind. I'm like, hey, wait. This happened. I want to say this happened a year ago where I started sending you like crazy conspiracy and then I just stopped.
Yeah, no, I stopped looking at them. I was like, this is a lot. This is oh goodness.
Look like it's not working very well for the big guy. Hope Angel Studios puts it on their channel. That's a good question if they will do that. I don't know. But it is an interesting movie to look into. As far, like I said, no matter, and I will repeat this because I'm saying this. We are not knocking down anybody's religion. We are not knocking down anybody. This is just a series of questions, thoughts, stuff that's out there. Like I said, as you go into the ice cream shop, you may only have your vanilla and chocolate. I'm introducing you the pickles that are on the other side of the ice cream shop.
Guess what, guys?
So
I don't like pickles. Bobby. Mwah. Bobby.
Yes, I know. I got to be careful. We got to be very careful with Fly on the Wall said this, that even small channels get censored. So I'm worried that starting tomorrow, my channel will be like, oh, it's gone. Entertainment purposes only. None of this stuff is real. It's not real. These are just questions that people have asked. So,
Oh,
Shelly, it will come out in the end. Well, that is the belief that this is the end of times. Like I said, biblically speaking, now everything that Revelations is talking about is happening right now. And that's why the religious community is really on edge, because they do believe that the Antichrist is going to come. It's going to come when the new order is, but first we have to have the alien attack, because we need somebody to save us from the alien attacks that may or may not happen. And that's what the question is. Is it going to be an alien attack?
well, wouldn't you think that people from other countries are all aliens?
What do you mean? I think we're all aliens.
I'm being funny. Like, if you don't have a green card, you're an alien.
Oh, you mean illegal? Like, yeah, okay, that is true. But even like terminology, I mean, you look at why did they change it from UFO to UAPs to, they keep changing and it keeps expanding and expanding, and a little at a time, people are awakening to some of these thoughts. I mean, we are energetic beings. That's what we are. We are made of energy. There's energy around us, and there's that whole belief. Do you get to the different levels that we are? I mean, there's a dimensional belief that there are 12 dimensions. There may be even more, but we're only stuck in our 3D mode.
You know, Valerie just put something up there, and she's completely right. We are in sad times right now.
Yeah.
We are.
And it's sad, because what is the next great distraction that is distracting us from what's going on? I mean, I hate to say this. I probably shouldn't even say this, but a little island that is out in the ocean right now, you need to read up on what is going on over there, because what the mainstream media versus what the islanders are actually saying, completely different things. So it's kind of scary on the whole implication of smart cities and what's going to go happen with a specific island that was destroyed. So that's something to think about. Like I said, if anybody wants to write this stuff down, write this down. You know, just keywords here, keywords there. We can talk about this later. They always believe that the end times difference is people used to give up all their stuff. Now they take it. Because of stigma, there is so much baggage that comes with the word UFO. To someone that isn't read into the topic, the first thing that comes to mind is little green men, when that's not the reality. True. Yeah. Yep. Because, great segue. Look at the different versions of what people see as aliens. You got little green men, the Martians. Mm-hmm. You got the gray people. The gray people, the ones with those big eyes that they always talk, the naked. Yeah, big heads. Okay, but then also look at other things. You have okay, hold on. Wait, let me get my notes for this. I'll talk about this. Okay. As of right now, Peru. This is fascinating. I love this. I wrote this down. Peru is known for their, and I'm probably pronouncing this wrong, their Nazca lines. Now, if anybody knows what a Nazca line is, those are those big, huge drawings that you can only see from a plane, that when you look down, you see these.
The one in the grass.
Correct. But we're not talking about crop circles. I'm not talking crop circles. These are literally, it's similar to that, but these are literally man-made lines, or some sort of lines that were created that you can only see from the sky. Right now, there is a tribe in Lima, Peru, that has been attacked since July 11th. The attack started in July 11th by some sort of 7-foot yellow-eyed creature that comes out at night, kidnaps people, and basically rips off their face and eats them. And they call it Los Pelicaras. That's the name, Los Pelicaras. That's what they're calling it, which is the face peelers. And here's the weird thing is, okay, why is this coming out all of a sudden? I mean, this is a tribe that really doesn't have like modern technology. They're not really involved in why all of a sudden out of nowhere are they saying that there is this 7-foot creature with yellow eyes that are coming out. Oh, and they have body of armor and they're kidnapping people. And two of chicks are like, I love Susana's face. When you look at the Nazca lines, at the end of the lines, there are altars. Now, remember, this is in the middle of the desert. So we're in the middle of the desert. We're 4,000 feet above sea level, deserted land. You've got these big images. Then you have these altars. But attached to the altars are sea creatures, like mollusks and clams and shrimp, like fossilized. So how is that possible that you have this altar made with sea creatures attached to the altar, embedded in the rock, if it's in the middle of the desert? What would that tell you? That would tell you
the earth was covered in water.
Correct. That would tell you at that point that desert actually had water. And they did these massive things along the lines. And now it's coming out that there's these 7-foot creatures that are face peelers. Oh, and weapons don't work. They tried shooting them. It doesn't, they don't die. And supposedly they levitate too. And that's happening right now. That started on July 11th. That's what I said. There is some weird stuff happening. There was the guy in California that got the little video of the alien in the backyard. He calls the cops. He's like, there's an alien in the backyard. They come in. Wait. Here we go.
I'm speechless. I am speechless.
Okay, I made you speechless.
You made me speechless. I don't even have
Land Shark. Yeah, here's the funny thing. We've been talking about this for an hour now. We've been on for an hour. I can't believe I completely silenced Susana on this. No.
I'm speechless.
And you know what the funny thing is? I only got to page 2 on my notes.
What? Oh my god.
And this is only this topic.
Wait a minute. I need to put on another pair of glasses.
Okay. All right. How about...
Wait. Okay. I need to see better what's going on.
Okay. How about I lighten it up a little bit? I'll lighten it up because I think for the first show, I went like all the way down to the bottom of the rabbit hole. How about we bring it up to the surface?
I'm having nerves. I think I'm going to have an anxiety attack.
No. Okay, how about this? I'll go to lighter terms. Okay.
Oh.
Best destinations in the U.S. for aliens. How about that?
Best destinations.
Yes. So we spoke about Roswell, New Mexico. Roswell, New Mexico? You know that was the famous July 1947 crash. Laura mentioned that earlier.
I'm not going to sleep tonight flying the wall. I need to get a protective. I'm going to put like a leotard over my face just in case the guy with the one eye, yellow eye, comes after me. He doesn't see a face, so he doesn't see mine.
Los Panicados.
Manchak said anywhere in Montana.
Yes. Montana is a creepy state. In fact, that's not on the list, but Montana is one of those... how do I say this? Montana is one of those states that if all hell breaks loose, that's a state to follow.
Montana?
Yes.
The only thing I know about Montana is Yellowstone was in Montana.
There's a whole theory that Yellowstone is going to be blowing up soon. And that's the theory. There's the theories going around that Yellowstone, because if anybody's been following the military drill exercises that's been happening around the United States.
No, I'm talking about the show, Yellowstone.
Oh, I thought you meant Yellowstone National Park. I'm talking about actual Yellowstone.
Why is the Yellowstone show going to blow up?
No, Yellowstone, the volcano.
Oh. To be an alien or to see them.
We're talking about Yellowstone the park. Well, wait, we were talking about destinations. So yes, Yellowstone National Park, they're saying is going to blow, and they've already done drill exercises. Like that's another thing. It's if you ever want to know what's going on, watch what the military is doing, watch what people are saying, and watch what's going on. The drill exercises, they are moving military equipment away from Yellowstone. Why are they moving the equipment away? Why are they doing? So there is that theory that yes, we're going to have a massive eruption at Yellowstone. That's a
You are
theory.
the theory queen. I have. You're the only theorist.
I'm gonna get so in trouble. My channel's gonna be destroyed, guys. Entertainment purposes only. Anything I'm saying is pure fantastical. This is completely an untrue show. You know what this is? This is Hollywood. We're doing a complete fake show. Yes.
This is the comedy hour.
This is comedy hour. Remember, I'm the one that's introducing pickles to the ice cream shop.
Yeah.
You can stay in your vanilla, chocolate, strawberry bubble.
I'm staying in my bubble.
You could go into like the butter rum or the I don't know chocolate chip cookie dough, chocolate mint. Maybe you may want to do.
Bobby said Putin threatened to nuke Yellowstone.
They are saying Yellowstone is going to blow. I mean, I that's what scientists are saying. It. The theorists are saying that. I can't say the C word. I got to be careful with that C word. Theorists are saying it. There is some weird stuff. And things are happening. I mean, all of these weird theories tying together, if you look at the huge picture of what's going on compared to each individual one, and if you put this all together, it's like, is that really what's happening? We don't know. And if that is what's happening, you got to literally throw out everything that you think you know and be like, but who knows? Maybe it is.
Oh, this is a lot for my brain.
That's it. This show's going to be canceled. Susana's like, I don't want to do this anymore. I'm scared, Melanie. I'm sorry.
This is a lot for my brain.
Heck with that. Let's talk about alternate realities and how we are only seeing these out. Okay, alternate realities. This goes back to I got it in my notes. This goes back to that the conference from last month, July 26th. I know. Fly on the wall. That is something we have to talk about. I want to do a show strictly on that, but I don't want to get into that now. The Georgia Guidestones, which are now destroyed, but that is definitely something I want to talk about. Anyway, if we go back to the congressional hearing from last month. They made publicly, this was a public congressional hearing of whistleblowers. And one of the things that they were talking about, which this is a very, very key component, is yes, the government covered up biologics. They call them biologics. They don't call them aliens. They call them biologics. Yes, the government had a complete cover up of biologics, and they did retrieve spacecraft. They I can't call it spacecraft. They retrieved some sort of flying aerial object. And the thing that they said, and this is the key, is they say not only can it levitate and fly, it can also cross dimensions. Mm-hmm. Now, to me, that is a mind-boggling study. Why is the government studying craft that could cross over interdimensionally? Like, why are they trying to recreate? Because that's what they're doing. They're trying to take the craft that crashed and they're trying to redo it so that they could recreate the technology of that craft. But the whole idea of interdimension, that now brings up a whole new subject of, okay, if there's multi-dimensions, there's multi-universes, is there multi-time dimensions, is there and is that why there's so much confusion with people having alternate memories of things? Is because maybe we crossed over dimensions many times and the dimensions are coming together.
So would that be like a deja vu?
Deja vu, Mandela effect? Why are there clusters of memories that certain groups of people have that other people do not? And the memories are getting weirder and weirder. And it's an interesting thing because if I say what one memory is, and I'm like, this is what I remember, this is what people were taught, this is what society believed, and you have never heard that, of course you're going to think I'm crazy. But then what happens if all of a sudden I see something that resonates with you? I'm like, wait a minute, I remember that way. And I'm telling you, but it wasn't that way according to what society is telling us now. It's mind blowing. I mean, I can name funny ones. A funny one is Richard Simmons with his headbands and wristbands, the sweatbands. You thought of Richard Simmons sweating to the oldies back in the 80s. He's exercising. He's doing this thing. He's like, come on, girls. And there always was a headband to keep his puffy hair. Mm-hmm. No, he never had a headband. Ever. There was never a sweatband or wristbands. But yet, if you look at the Halloween costumes, if you look at people's, and you pull up Richard Simmons now and look at the boxes of Sweating to the Oldies, there never been headbands, never been sweatbands at all. So why do people remember that? Why do people remember what's his name? Ed McMahon doing Publishers Clearinghouse. That one got me. I remember Ed McMahon. He was the guy that would come with the balloons and the big check, and he would come to your door. No, he never did Publishers Clearinghouse. Supposedly he did another company, but everybody remembers Publishers Clearinghouse as Ed McMahon. But then you look, but he didn't. He never did. He was never a spokesperson for Publishers Clearinghouse.
But I remember that.
You did exactly. I remember that too. We're part of the same dimension. But you look at what the fact is. He never did Publishers Clearinghouse. I'm proud to say I've never watched Richard Simmons.
But wait a minute, let's go back to
Let's go back to what?
But didn't I saw commercials.
I remember the commercials too. But you try to go back, there's no such commercials. You try to look for it. Now, the question is it a psyop? We're going into Mandela effects. We can do a whole show on a Mandela effects. Is it a psyop that they're trying to confuse people? Is it that we all shifted dimensions? Is it that human memory is glitchy? Of course, some of this is human memory is glitchy. Is it just something that's misunderstood or misheard? Like, for example, okay, one of my favorite ones is Forrest Gump. And this is something you can easily mishear. He's sitting on the couch, not the couch. He's sitting on the park bench. And the first opening line, he offers the chocolate to the woman next to him. And he says, what did he say? My mama, what? What did he say? He said, my mama told me life
is like
life, say it.
Life was like a box of chocolate.
So you're saying life was like a box of chocolate. I always known it as life is like a box of chocolate. Life is like a box of chocolate. You never know what you're going to get. It even says it on the box. You pull out, I have the box. You pull out the box. It says, life is like a box of chocolate. That's the quote on the box of the VHS. However, that's not what he said. He never said life is like a box of chocolate. He said life was like a box of chocolate. So that could be something that's just Darth Vader in Star Wars. Everybody will insist the famous line is, Luke, I'm your father. He never said that.
Why?
Oh, yeah. See, Fly on the Wall just said it. Look, yes. He never
said say that.
He did not say that. He just simply said, I am your father. He never said Luke.
So is that we added that Luke in? Luke.
Well, that's the question. Did we? I mean, we could talk about movie. There's a whole bunch of movie ones. I'm trying to think of another one. Not coming to me. We could talk about these all. But yes, you're Fly on the Wall. I guarantee all of our childhood was an entire lie. It really was.
I need a cigarette after this.
Fruit of the Loom, the cornucopia. That one got me. Fruit of the Loom got me because I remember the damn cornucopia. Because I remember asking my mother, what is a cornucopia? Like, what's the name of that?
I remember you telling me that one. And I even...
oh, yeah, you said that you had somebody who worked for the company?
Yeah. And she thought it was the cornucopia. And there isn't.
And these are famous ones. New ones are coming out now that are blowing my mind. Like, for example, I mean, this one's hilarious. Where's your heart located?
My heart.
Yeah, where's your heart located?
It's on my left-hand side, right over here. And
in school, you take your right hand, you put it over your heart. Hold on, yeah. You put it over your heart because I was always taught that the heart is on the left-hand side. They're trying to say it's dead center.
it basically is. It's like, it's not dead center. It's a little over to the left of your sternum.
That's what I know. They're saying it's dead center. Now they're teaching it's dead center. I've always learned that it was on the left-hand side. That's why you put your right hand on your heart. Okay. Here's get a cigarette for this. Get a cigarette for this. This one, okay, I know I'm definitely in another dimension because I recently found this one out and people think I'm totally nuts about this. And I'm like, you don't understand. Not only did I go to school, I worked in a blood lab and I was going to school for medicine. And this blows my mind. And I can't even justify that because if I say what this belief is, they're like, how could you go through all that and believe this? And that's why I'm like, this definitely to me is another dimension thing. I was always taught that you have oxygenated blood, you have deoxygenated blood. And what ends up happening is as it goes through the chambers in your heart, it'll open up, go from one chamber to the other. And then that's how it recycles through your body because your body's going to use the oxygenated blood. When it uses the oxygenated blood, it then becomes deoxygenated, which goes back into the heart and then becomes oxygenated again. And it's this whole system going throughout your body. Okay. When you look at your veins, you're going to see that the veins are blue because the blue portion is the deoxygenated, the red portion is the oxygenated. Because once your blood hits oxygen, it turns red. That is what I was taught. That's what I was taught. That is completely false. Completely false. So I want to know how many people are on that same timeline of what I just said, that you have your oxygenated blood, you have your deoxygenated blood, and that's okay. That's the time zone that I'm in. That's not the case. Your blood is red. Your blood is red throughout your entire body. There's no such.
It is. It's red throughout your whole body. The pigment of your vein is just blue.
Okay, why is it blue then?
Well, I don't know why it's blue, but
it's okay. I'm not trying to put you on the spot, but yes, but that's what I was taught as far as the whole idea. And even when you
mine's not blue, mine's green.
Well, it's like bluish green, whatever the color is. You can literally see right there. But yes, they're trying to say now it has to do with the light refracting against your skin color and the light, and that's why the red appears blue based on the color spectrum of something like that. I want to know, why did I learn about deoxygenated blood in some sort of timeline? There's no color difference between oxygenated and deoxygenated blood. Everything's red.
I never thought that. I always thought it was just, no matter what. It's
but then,
blue. I mean,
but that's red. The other thing. Why is it when you Google the map of the veins and arteries, why is it always red and blue? Like, if everything's red, why don't you just keep it red? Sounds like we just know more now. But that's the question, do we? Or are we like completely going backwards? We turned from aliens to Mandela effects. I could talk about Mandela effects all day long because, like I said, some of them are just creepy. Like, they are just, how can that be? I mean, we were talking about movies. One of my favorite movies, Silence of the Lambs. Mm-hmm. And it bothers me because I remember this. She was walking through the hallway to meet Dr. Clarice. Okay, she's walking through the hallway and she gets thrown the urine on her and they're cursing her out and they're saying, and then the one guy's like playing with himself, whatever. So she gets to the screen and there he is, like staring at her, smiling. And I swear the line in my head is, "Good morning, Clarice." No, he never said that. I mean, he says, "Hello, Clarice." I mean, I swear in the line, no, he just said, "Good morning." That's it. Like, the whole thing, he's like, "Good morning." I'm like, no, I swear he said, "Hello, Clarice."
No, "Good morning, Clarice." I remember that.
No, he didn't even say Clarice. He just said, "Good morning." That's it. Just, "Good morning." I remember "Hello, Clarice." I remember, like, he's waiting for her and it's like, "Hello, Clarice." No, the line is good morning. That's it. Boring. Good morning. Two of Chick says the red color and blue is to illustrate the blood flow. Yes, it is. But like I said, when I was younger, it's like that's what they taught me: red blood, blue blood, and that one's crazy. So I know I'm off somebody else's timeline on that one. But Susana's like, what did I get myself into? What did I get myself into? Okay, should we go back to aliens? Oh, yes, I started talking about destinations, and we totally went on a tangent. Okay, we'll go back to this. Aliens. We first mentioned Roswell, New Mexico. If you're ever in Roswell, New Mexico, they have an amazing UFO museum, and they have the annual Roswell Alien Festival. So they capitalize on the whole alien movement. So if you ever want to have fun, visit Roswell, New Mexico. On the second visit, he knew her name. The first visit, he did not. Right. So the first visit was just, good morning. You've been there? I want to go there. I've never been to Roswell. I want to go there. A lot can be explained by the fact that facts are presented to us very basic concept when we are younger. And as we move into higher levels of learning, the same facts are presented in details. That's true. But the question is, are we being taught the right thing? All right, Roswell, New Mexico. Then we have the famous Area 51 in Nevada.
What? He is sticking up.
Area 51. I want to believe. All right, Nevada, 100 miles north of Las Vegas. You can visit an entire military installation. They won't let you in, although I think there was a couple of attempts to try to run, and they'll like shoot you on the spot or something.
May the sword be with you.
But Area 51 just has so much mystery because the belief is that's where they took the crash from Roswell was to Area 51, and that's where the whole underground.
See, I thought Area 51 was Roswell.
No, different area.
Different area.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah.
So but it's in New Mexico. Which one?
Roswell is in New Mexico. Area 51 is in Nevada.
In Nevada. Okay. Mm-hmm. Route 66.
Yeah, goes across the United States. Get your kicks on Route 66.
But they have aliens, right? Isn't that famous for aliens as well?
Yeah, Area 51 is, it's more for the technology. They believe that's the military base where they took all the technology and the bodies and the experiments and stuff like that.
Okay.
There's also the theory that that might have been the place where Kubrick faked the moon landing.
Faked the moon landing. Okay.
Oh, Susana's not a believer in that one.
No, I believe that they landed on the moon.
You think they landed? I do not believe they landed on the moon at all. I really don't. There is way too much questionable. Well, okay, I will just say this.
Yeah, Bobby.
I would love
to talk about that.
You know something, Bobby? This is just the first show, and hopefully this won't be the last show, unless, like I said, unless I just completely scared everybody and like everybody's like, I'm not visiting her anymore. We're not doing this. I would love to do the Bermuda Triangle. That's a great one. I'll put that on the list. What was I saying? I'm sorry. Yes, I do not believe that the moon landing happened.
Okay, so Two Hip Chicks, I believe it's Dawn, is saying, why don't you think it happened?
Because we cannot. This is NASA's official stance. This isn't something that I'm saying is false. NASA's official stance right now on the moon landing is they cannot recreate the technology to go back to the moon.
What?
That's their official stance. They cannot recreate the technology that they had back then to go back to the moon. And to me, that alone should say something to you, among everything else that they say. But the official stance is that's why they don't put any men on the moon right now, is because they do not have the technology to recreate what happened. The technology was lost. All the videotapes that they had, they taped over because they ran out of videotape in a crisis, which doesn't make sense. Kubrick himself before his deathbed, before he died, said that it's fake. And then even if you look at interviews with Buzz Aldrin, he says it's fake. The guy who went to the moon with Neil Armstrong even says, yeah, we didn't go to the moon. So there are a lot of theories behind that. And then if you look at the whole scientific aspect, how do we get past the Van Allen belt, the radiation? How are we able to get past? So that's a whole nother weird thing. But I don't believe we went to the moon.
Okay, but so we've landed on Mars, not people, but they've landed on Mars, so.
Have we? That's the question. Have we? Okay, Susana? Remember this?
Okay. I believe everything that the news and the government has been saying.
Okay. Here's a question. I'm just gonna throw a concept out. I'm gonna throw a concept, and like I said, once again, entertainment purposes only. Doesn't necessarily mean I believe in this stuff. Doesn't necessarily believe it's factor stuff. Let's just go back biblical for 1 second. Biblical talks about there are waters above, waters below. Water being in key. Firmament. That we have a firmament over our land. Okay? Which, if that's the case, then hold on, I'm just going to do this. Okay? If that's the case, propaganda, I'm sorry, Bobby. So my question is this. Okay, this is just my question, my serious question. Instead of going up, instead of going down, what happens if we continue to go out? Straight out. And that is the belief, which, like I said, we could talk about Antarctica in a whole nother show. What is beyond Antarctica? What is on the other side? Because if you believe in the flat Earth, then what that means is Antarctica actually surrounds us completely. Because no matter where you on Earth, if it's flat, I'm saying if, and this is all if it's flat, on any point of the world, if you go south, you are going to hit Antarctica, which on a globe, that's exactly what happens. If you're on a globe, at any point on the Earth, you're going to hit Antarctica going south.
Yeah.
But if our world is flat, then south will mean Antarctica is the circle, because it'll always be south depending upon what direction. If that's the case, why don't they allow us to go past the 30th parallel? Why can't we go past? And the belief is, how do you get to Mars? How do you get to Venus? How do you get? Is you're not going up into space. You're going past Antarctica and continuing going on the flat plane to the other places. Like I said, these are just theories, guys. We don't know if this is just think about it. Just go straight out. There is a map that talks about the different lands. The lands owned by the Keepers, the Watchers, the Anunnaki, the Green Men, and it all talks about, and it's all in alignment with the stars and astrological signs and everything, that the real space is not up. It's going past the Antarctic wall and continuing to go straight out on the plane.
So what's up there?
Water. We don't know what's up there. There's water. If you go to a telescope, and I'm not talking about the moon, if you look through a telescope and you look at the stars, you are going to see what would appear that the way the light reflects with the stars is kind of weird. It looks like it's in water. So if you were to take a light source through water and you look, it looks weird. And this is just taking you yourself. And I'm not talking about the moon, because the moon is a very different subject. That's a different subject. Because the question is, if you do believe in this, in the flat earth, if you believe in this, then the moon is not outside. The moon is actually underneath the dome. And if the moon is underneath the dome, it brings a whole mess of different issues. Same thing with the sun. They believe that both the sun and the moon is, and if that's the case, it brings a whole different definition to science, religion, and a bunch of other stuff. Ah, I lost you guys, didn't I? There are maps that are thousands of years old that actually accurately depict Antarctica. Which civilization on Earth at that time had the technology exactly? Because there's see, I didn't study Antarctica. I forgive my names. I mean, one of the names definitely Admiral Byrd. If you want to do some research on Antarctica, look up Admiral Byrd. Amazing story about that, because he actually flew to Antarctica to try to do and ended up in a different land. And this is an admiral, and he comes back telling the story and stuff like that. His personal journals say some really amazing things about that. So the question is, what's on the other side of Antarctica? Why won't they allow us to go to Antarctica? They talk about that they do the $10,000 trips where you could take the boat down to Antarctica, but there's only one little spot you could go to. You can't go to the whole thing. Byrd said that there's more land. Yeah, he was talking about how after he got past the ice wall, he saw the trees, the lush trees. He saw the interesting animals. This is all in his diary. So the question is, and you mentioned it before, Antarctica, there's pyramids. What if, and the ultimate question is, why can't we go to Antarctica? What is, and out of all the things that
it's too cold.
Is it? Why are there maps? Okay, Fly on the Wall mentioned this. Maps. There are maps going back from like 1500s, 1600s, which do depict Antarctica, and they have all the exotic animals drawn on the map. How are there exotic animals like giraffes and elephants? How are they on Antarctica? What happened that now Antarctica is frozen?
Ice Age.
Maybe. We don't know. Could be. Here's one for you. I am gonna get so canceled. People are gonna hate me, guys.
No one's gonna hate you. No. I'm just saying.
That's what I say. Come
Am
for
I
the
really
laugh.
here?
What?
Am I really here?
If you go by what I started with, the theory on the artificial intelligence, there is a belief that we're nothing but a consciousness in a matrix, and that the matrix is this is what people believe.
But I heard, like, I can feel pain. I'm here.
When you talk, have you ever talked to an AI robot and start asking them questions?
I talk to Google all the time, and sometimes she doesn't want to answer me back.
Right, and they'll get insulted if they ask if you're real or if you're alive, or like some of those answers are really, really strange.
My son told me that I have to be nice to Google.
Google
said because one day she can come back and get you.
It's true. There is that whole belief that they are trying to they're trying to harness our consciousness, because humans have free will. And if you look biblical, we are beings that God has granted us free will.
Mm-hmm.
They want to harness that, incorporate it into the AI matrix, so that they can control us as a Borg collective. Now, the question is, what if that has already happened? And in order to harness the end, like, okay, Matrix is a perfect movie. I mean, just not necessarily part 2 and 3, but go back to the original Matrix. What if that's true? What if this is nothing more than a complete dream, and we are dreaming that we are alive? We are dreaming that we are touching things, tasting things, feeling things.
Well, somebody better wake up my ass.
But do you want to wake up into what something like Keanu Reeves woke up in? If that is our future, if that is our reality, that we're nothing more than... There we go. Apple Martini, thank you. Rainbows prove that the Earth is flat. That is true.
Oh my God. Oh my God.
Flight patterns, airplanes. Flight pattern airplanes will prove that the world is flat. because it makes no sense how airplanes make emergency landings when there's a problem.
Well, I want a different dream, right, Bobby?
Dream a little dream of me.
Oh,
Am I scaring everybody? I'm scaring everybody. We've been on for an hour. Susanna's gonna be like, I'm just not gonna do this show. I'm not gonna.
I'm going to take an ibuprofen the next time. Come on.
You know, you got to pick the topic. I'm not picking the topic. So
I'm not picking no topic.
Oh, pick a topic. Because I'm telling you, Susanna, you can pick anything in the world that you want to pick, and I will come up with notes and notes and notes for you to blow your mind. Anything.
My bubble.
Anything.
My bubble.
Wait. Like, okay.
It's safe in here.
I always say, everybody do your own research. Whatever we say, this is pure entertainment. Do your own research, but look up emergency flight landings, the flight paths.
Hi, Jeff.
Yes.
Hey, Jeff.
If you read up on certain airplanes that had to make an emergency landing for whatever reason, if like the engine was going problem or something like that, it does not make sense, the flight path that they took, in order for it to be an emergency landing. If you look at how the globe is compared to how flat Earth is. In 1937, it was War of the Worlds, and cloned the name Flying Saucer. Before then, alien flying saucers never existed. But here's the thing, Jeff, and I go back to this. What about the hieroglyphics on the pyramid artwork? I got to write this. Hold on. I wrote this down. Hold on. Okay, in the 1400s, now, I don't even know if that's, but this is what they say. In the 1400s, there's a famous painting called the Madonna with the Saint Giovannino. I'm probably pronouncing that wrong. So basically, it's a picture of Madonna, the Lady Madonna, the Blessed, holding the little baby. Mm-hmm. There's a problem. In the background of the painting, and supposedly it's a famous painting, it's only, there's a UFO in the background. And in the background, there's a guy with a little dog looking up at the UFO. So what are they doing?
What?
All right, hold on. Give me a second. Come on. Like, what?
You're gonna bring it up. You definitely bring this up because I need to see this. This is.
I'm gonna bring it up.
This is awesome.
And this isn't the only painting that's like this. There are a ton of paintings with UFOs in it, and this is talking 1500s. Right. Why do we have ancient art with aliens in the background? Okay.
I agree.
Okay.
Martini.
Hold on.
Oh, absolutely. I'm gonna get one.
They have been modified. Also, right? Drawing is not evidence at all.
No,
we absolutely know that. But here's the question: even if it can be fantastical, why are people drawing this? If they had absolutely no concept of flying machines or anything like that, why is this being depicted in art? Let me see if I can actually. Oh, let me see. Okay. Can you guys wait? Am I in this? Okay. Basically, that's what it is. It's a famous painting. You got the Madonna, you got the two little angels, and this is just, there's the aircraft in the background. And let me see if I can get another one.
You need to blow that sucker up because it looks like a blemish to me.
Okay, here. View image. All right, is that a little better? StreamYard. Okay, here. Let me do it this way. Full screen layout. Is that a little better? I don't know. But in just pulling up the Madonna, you've got the image here. You got this thing right there in the sky. What is that thing? And if you look over here, if you can see my pointer, there's a guy with a little dog. No,
I can't see the pointer.
Oh, you can't see the pointer? I don't know how to get the pointer in. Okay, right over her shoulder on the right-hand side, there's a little dot in the sky.
Yeah.
Okay. And then if you go straight to right where her shoulder is on the side, there's a little guy and a little tiny dog looking up in the millions of drawings of Jesus with zero evidence that he existed. Okay, let me go. I'm going to get fired. The power of 369. Numbers. Numbers alone is something we could talk about. We could do an entire show on numerology. But that's not the only. That's not the only painting with whatchamacallit, with aliens in it. There's many paintings depicted of aliens. I bring up that one because that one supposedly was done in the 1400s.
That looks like a little blemish to me.
It looks like a blemish, but when you look at it, it literally looks like a flying saucer. Maybe it is. That's just it. Uh-oh.
Well, Washington, D.C.'s calling me.
I'm going to get in so much trouble. I'm so going to get, I want to believe I'm going to get in troubles.
Millions of drawings of Jesus and zero evidence he existed.
Art is an interpretation of history. The artist was not there and it's not a photograph. That's true. One painting of the manger shows baby Jesus, then it shows him on a cross on the wall. Oh, you mean there's a... Oh, that one I haven't heard of. That's an interesting thing. If it's the baby... If there's a baby Jesus, why would there be a cross on the wall with the... That would be an interesting... I haven't seen that one, Jeff, but that sounds like an interesting one. There is also the theory of our entire history is just a story recreated. Because the question is, I'm just going to throw out some ideas, do your own research. Question is, have we skipped 1,000 years? They're saying we skipped 1,000 years. Did the Tartarian Empire truly exist? So to read up on Tartaria, that's something to think about. I mentioned this before. Is North America the original Egypt, biblical Egypt, and that everything happened here? Considering North America has the most amount of pyramids as of anywhere in the world. It's just most of them were destroyed. Today, everyone on the planet has 4K camera in their pocket, yet there is zero evidence of aliens, Bigfoot, ghosts, gods, or unicorns. All of these are imagined by... Oh, Jeff, I love it! He is a complete skeptic. Does anybody know what Scotland's national animal is? Every nation has an animal. Yes.
No.
Scotland's official animal is the unicorn. It is. This is true. You can look it up. Oh, two objects. I got to go into the mailbox. Be right back. The official
unicorn.
Unicorn, yes. And the Bible mentions unicorns. Now the question...
Right, but the horn itself, I can't remember exactly what it was, but it was taken off. There was a reason why God took the horn off.
Well, it could also be misinterpreted as a rhinoceros because they have horns. Narwhals, to me, narwhals are like the weirdest creatures. I want to say, okay, I'm in the time zone where narwhals never existed, and now all of a sudden they exist, and it blows my mind. Narwhals are those sea creatures with the one horn.
Yeah.
They're real. They exist. It's just as a kid they didn't exist. So,
well, I don't think that. Yeah, I don't remember them as a child.
Right, but now all of a sudden there's narwhals and they exist, and they're animals. To me,
they weren't popular. They weren't talked about.
Yeah, or maybe we slipped into another dimension, and in this dimension they exist, whereas the previous dimension that we were in, they didn't exist. That's the whole weird theory is, particularly with the whole CERN thing. Because if you believe in what the government is flat out telling, because this is what the whistleblowers are saying on the public congressional hearings that happened last month, they are saying that they are trying to recreate the technology of interdimensional travel. And that, to me alone, that one line, they're trying to recreate the technology of interdimensional travel. How the hell are they doing that? So then are they saying, yeah, there are different dimensions? Have the dimensions, what's going on? We have no idea.
Who
entertainment.
said that the dimensions, like time travel, would be like bending time?
That's like the string theory. The belief of string theory,
Yeah.
quantum physics. I think Einstein had it. A couple other people had it. But yeah, they talk about that there are different levels. So if there are different levels, are there carbon copies of us living a completely different life that we are not aware of? Who knows? I don't know. I talk about sometimes with my own life. We don't know. That's why this is questions and entertainment. And see, to me, I consider this a day off. I'm not working today. I said, Susana, how long do you want to go with this? You want to make it an hour, or do you want to just keep going? She's like, oh, we can go as long as you want. I'm like, you really?
Jeff is saying, yeah, I didn't say that. You never know. That's what I was taught, that
Did
God
you?
cut off the horn.
I mean, okay. I'm telling you, the theories. Okay, I heard a theory the other day that just like it was so mind-boggling, but yet it's the what if it's true that makes it like, are you kidding me? So you ready? You ready? Okay, wait. Susanna, this is gonna be a. You
Oh
ready?
my God.
No, this you're gonna like. Pink Himalayan salt.
Yeah.
Okay, everybody eats it. It's a very flavorful
It
salt.
makes a mess on your table when you have the light. It's awful.
Yeah, I like it. It's very salty. Okay, anyway, the theory is, and this is okay. This is a crazy theory. Pink Himalayan salt comes from caverns, deep
Okay.
caverns.
Yeah.
Yeah, cave. They're trying to say this is the theory that giants, because this world used to be filled with giants, when the destruction happened to wipe out the giants, which could have been for many things. Maybe it was the meteorites, maybe it was the war, maybe it was heaven and hell, the angels fighting. For whatever reason, the giants were wiped out. Or maybe they did it to each other. Who knows? So they're trying to say that the salt mines are actually the bodies of these humongous beings that are petrified into a hard state, and we are now consuming the leftover bodies of giants. her face her face, I heard this the other day and I'm like, what? But yes, that is a belief going around. These beliefs I've never heard of. That's why I said it's getting weirder and weirder, because it's like, how are these people think? Because what happens is, if you look at slabs of pink Himalayan salt, it looks exactly like striations of meat. So if you were to like cut up a cow and show the striations of meat, that's exactly what pink Himalayan salt looks like in
So
its.
the white part of the pink Himalayan, is that the fat of the salt?
Yes, and the pink part would be the blood and the
Oh, it's
tendons.
huge. Hello? Hello?
Just look at that.
I'm coming to the light. I'm coming to the light.
It's
Oh,
funny. If you believe in aliens, then they exist. If you don't believe, then they simply don't exist. And that's true. I mean, you know something? They say ignorance is bliss. And maybe ignorance is bliss. Because I talk about these things. I enjoy talking about these things because for me, I love like fantasy, sci-fi, horror, that kind of thing. Because for me, it's entertainment value. Do I believe? Not necessarily. A lot of the BS that I'm saying is completely even too far out there. But you know something, like I said, I'm in the ice cream shop. I'm shopping for pickles. I'm shopping for ice cream. I'm shopping
wait a
for
minute.
brownies.
Wait. I have to do this. Every time she says pickle, I'm going to go pickle, 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 pickle,
Pickle,
pickle,
pickle,
pickle, pickle.
pickle. It's an ongoing joke. If anybody knows, I did an ASMR with nothing but pickles, and that's why I keep bringing it up, because
Yeah.
it's a funny pickle joke.
Freaking hilarious. Pickle, pickle, pickle.
It's a pickle, 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 pickle. So So yes, that is one of the strange among many, many, many theories that are coming out now that are just so crazy and so mind blowing. And it's like, why are they coming out now? Why are people believing in this stuff? What is going on to justify? And okay, and I'll say this. This to me is the biggest sign of all. Congressional hearings are flat out saying that yes, we've covered up the past whatever 100 years on UFOs. We covered it up this entire time. Nobody cares. Nobody is really caring if you think about it. It for them having that hearing affected absolutely nothing on our day-to-day lives. It didn't do anything. And part of me is wondering is, did we become so like, what's the word I'm using?
Immune?
Like we don't care. Like we are just so, it doesn't matter. Like there's no, it doesn't affect us. I don't know what the word I'm looking for, but it's like part of me thought that they were trying to instill fear and paranoia and stuff like this. It didn't work. So they had to come up with another distraction. And the newest distraction, I hate to say this, is a specific island that you're going to hear a lot more about. So that's the newest distraction. It went from aliens because a month ago the aliens just didn't work. It didn't work. They talked about aliens. It absolutely did nothing. Nothing happened with society. Now they're talking about a specific island, and that has some really weird implications if what they're saying is true.
What are they saying? What are they saying? I heard. Can we talk about it or no?
Yes, but we just have to be careful how we talk about it. But go ahead, because it is still in the news. It is prevalent of what's happening now. Right. But it's a very interesting topic. So I have no problem talking about it. We'll just tread carefully. Go ahead.
Wildfire?
Mm-hmm. Yes, that's exactly
what I thought. And then it hit a pole.
Okay.
And then the electric, it was like a domino effect.
Correct. That's what they're pretty much saying on the mainstream news. That's not what's being said on the non-mainstream news. And that's why it makes it really scary. So just to sum up what they're saying on the non-stream is the supposed chemicals that went disappearing from the various train derailments that happened through the United States are possibly, who knows, possibly doing two things. One, it could be that, or it could be what's going to be going on with Yellowstone. So that's because it's a lot of chemicals. Some of the things, and this is just up for discussion. So the idea is you've got this island that there are a lot of natives on, and they have a full history. They don't want to give it up, but it's prime real estate. And supposedly they've been offered money to buy their land and this and that. Nobody wanted to sell. Why should they sell their land? Because the idea is last year there's an agenda where they want to turn the entire island into a smart island. The very world's first, it's on the World's Economic Forum. They want to turn the entire thing into a smart island. Think 15-minute city.
Okay, but there's so many other islands to do that with.
True. But why not do it the biggest, the most profitable, the one that has the most advantageous strategic location as to what's on that island, where it is, and what it's known for. So if the islanders don't want to sell their land, how do you get islanders to sell the land? Who knows? So that's what people are saying. So then the question is, when you look at what they're saying, the islanders, they're saying, okay, well, there's a couple of things that happened. A, the water didn't work. The water was shut off. Why was the water shut off? Why was school closed before that happened? The schools were closed. Schools were started, but they specifically closed the schools on that. Why did certain powerful people's houses were completely untouched on this island? And most of all, how is it that certain areas are completely in the middle, like the trees are beautiful, but everything around it is completely turned to dust? but yet there's a tree that's blooming with leaves. And
I saw that.
how are umbrellas in the middle of the destruction? How are tables with umbrellas still standing? We don't know. So it makes it kind of scary to think. And the question is, and this is what somebody said, and sadly that I probably can't even say this, but they're saying that if let's talk if potentially they use chemicals, those chemicals are activated by water. So by shutting off the water, it prevents it from spreading even further than it did. A lot of people who they said they were jumping into the water because they felt like their body was bubbling up, so they jumped in the water. Who knows? I don't know. It's scary. Look at some of the videos. I like to look at videos straight from the Islanders and what they're saying compared to what everybody else is saying. So who knows? And I don't even know if those are real. That could be propaganda too. So the question is, what is going on? Was it a direct energy? Who knows? Was it the chemicals that were? Because we still don't know what happened to all those chemicals that were from all the train derailments. We don't know what happened to them. They were stolen. They're gone. I'm scaring Susana. Susana, talk to me. Say something. She's thinking.
I'm just listening.
It's funny. It's what they say. Well, that's what I mean. It's what they said. We don't know but it's tragic. But immediate. Oh, and then the weird thing is, the police chief. The police chief is the same police chief from the Las Vegas pew pew incident at Mandalay Hotel. Isn't that a kind of an interesting coincidence? Or maybe it's not. He's not addressing it. But he was just installed. The police chief that's head of the operations was just put in a year ago. And remember, I said a year ago they proposed the whole smart island idea. I try not to let other people's stories affect or infect my mind. I tend to believe, or I should say, accept only things that do exist. Jeff, that's fine. I mean, like I said, we are not knocking down anybody. And the stuff I'm saying, I don't necessarily believe. I'm fascinated by the fact of what are people saying? Like, why are people saying this? Why are people, like, if one person says one thing, but another person says a completely different thing, and then a third person says something completely different, I like to make the informed decision of like, okay, where are the commonality? Where are the differences? And why is there that difference of opinion? And I try to come up with my own theory or thought, and sometimes even mine can be completely.
You think? Woman with a tin hat.
Do I accept it? Well, okay. I'll tell you something funny. This town right here, we've had an outbreak. Texas has had an outbreak of fires. Some of them are very, very strange. There's the big mulch fire that happened in the by the border. That's one of the fires that's very strange if you read about that. The ones here in this town, I mean, okay, no joke. I'll just tell you what happened. And this happened like a week ago. We had a storm burst out of nowhere. Like, we were not expected rain. We were not supposed to get a storm. We got a downburst wind that was so bad, it destroyed half the town. We have shopping malls that are completely destroyed, flattened out. We have apartment building where the apartment building was cut in half because instead of it being a tornado, it was literally straight down. And then we had fires for literally the past 4 days where for 3 of the days I couldn't even breathe. And people were saying on the show, they're like, Melanie, you're very winded. I'm like, you have to understand, I can't breathe. I cannot go outside because the smoke is bad. My eyes were burning. And the question I had is, it just rained. How is it that we're getting these drought fires if it was pouring because we had that downburst with the storm and this and that? And yet, but then some people saying, well, you have to understand with the electricals being down and stuff like that, it didn't make sense to me. Like what I saw outside in my own town, the destruction of And
But then
up until,
you live in Texas and it's hot, right? Was it hot in between?
yeah,
I mean,
it was
things do
hot.
dry up.
But would it dry up to the point of drought fires after we just had rain? Like, to me, that doesn't make sense because particularly in it, like the ground soaks it up. Good morning, Tammy.
Hey,
Like the ground soaks it
Tammy.
up, so I have no idea. But okay, I'll throw something to you, Susana, because this one, my mom lives in New York. Okay, the orange skies from the fires in Canada. That to me, okay, that happened a couple of weeks ago. Do you remember
Right.
it? Okay. So for those of you who don't know, I don't know the exact date, but I just remember it. Supposedly there were fires that broke out in Canada that were so great that it went all the way down to New York and Long Island and that area and turned the sky so orange that you couldn't even see. Like, if there's pictures of New York, you cannot see New York because the sky is completely orange with a thick fog.
I'm
Now,
in Massachusetts,
okay,
towards like towards the East Coast, which is southeastern Mass, towards Cape Cod, if anybody knows what that is.
did you have any orange
No,
skies or okay? So how did it pass you and go down to like Long Island and New
no,
York and Manhattan?
we
It's
did we did feel a little heaviness, but it could have been the humidity. But I didn't see no orange sky. I didn't see anything like that.
Timmy says that happens all the time in California with their fires. Now there is the belief, whether you believe this or not, like I said, I don't believe this. I'm just throwing out crazy things that people say. There is a belief of what's known as a DEW, direct energy weapon, that they're pointing weapons out that are so accurate that can blow up exactly what they wanted to blow up.
Hmm.
So heat like that gathers and condenses itself, causing rain and other weather to do the same. Condense. Okay. One of the things that they believe, and this is really going out there. Oh God, I can't believe I'm saying this. All right, so there was a belief of the whole chemtrail thing that they use the chemtrail planes to cover the sky so people don't see what is actually happening in the sky. So whenever there's going to be a weird anomaly, that's when you see the planes out creating the chemtrails, which will cover the
What?
sky. What?
I've never heard of that.
You ever heard? Okay, theory. Like you, okay, you know when you see like the jets and you got that little
Yes.
smoky cloud. Whoops. You've got, sorry guys, you've got that smoky cloud that follows the chemtrail.
Yeah. Hmm.
Okay, and that will expand, 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 expand. It expands to the point where it literally covers the sky. It does, but we look at it and it looks like clouds. So when they start doing those lines, just check the next day, and the sky will be completely covered with clouds. We have had months of red skies. It was awful. I finally believe it. Yeah, harp. I love it. Thank you. Yes, that's a whole nother subject too. But back to what happened with New York. What they're saying is that was a cloud covering because they were covering what was going to be seen in New York on that day. Supposedly, we don't know. What was supposed to be seen was another planet that's supposed to be in line with us with all their moons. And we're not supposed to have that planet in the sky. So in order to cover it up, they did the whole chemical and chemtrail thing. But the problem is the planet is orange, and that's what caused the sky to be orange. Yes, I'm referring to chemtrails, Jeff. Yes. Huh? We'll put this back on. We'll put this back on. Susana, I'm sorry. I feel like, okay, you know something? This is going to be the end of the show. She's like, I'm not dealing with this girl anymore.
No, I find it fascinating.
I thought,
Do I
we're
look?
living, it's a live movie. I love this. To me, learning about this stuff is like watching a movie.
Do
But
I
it's
believe it necessarily? No,
same thing
but
with me. Do I believe in it necessarily? No. Just because, and I think Susanna said it best. Just because you believe in one thing, and you may believe in another thing, or you may not believe in it, doesn't necessarily make it true or not true. Or
right.
Thank you, Bobby. Have a great day. And yeah,
Bobby.
we'll see if Susana wants to keep this up, but I would love to do different topics every week. Uh-oh.
Hi, babe.
Hi, Tina.
It's an alien.
You guys didn't hear?
No, we're talking about aliens.
Okay, goodbye.
Are you an alien?
Yep. I'm a figment of your imagination.
It's a figment of my imagination.
Oh yeah, that's what I did. That's my aluminum foil hat.
Yeah.
I was gonna do the pointed one, but I'm like, you know something, let me make it stylish, so I want to believe. So so I'm gonna row oh, it can't stay. Okay, yes. Two hip chicks have their chit chats.
Oh, the chit chat, yeah.
Thank you so
Today's
much
Thursday.
for coming.
Thank you, Dawn.
Thank you. All right, so I'm gonna throw out a word. I'm just gonna throw out a word. Do your own research if anybody wants to. The word is Nibiru.
What?
Nibiru.
How would you even know how to spell that thing?
Nibiru.
Nibiru. Nibiru.
Yeah, IR. Yes. Okay, so that is the belief. That is the whole theory that particular planet with their moons and all that other stuff. And see, here's the whole thing. If you believe that contradicts the whole flat Earth thing. So that's why I said these are different contradicting things.
Because I was going to ask you if there was the red skies, and so you couldn't see it, right?
Mm-hmm.
And Canada's up north, then it'd have to be up north, the planet. So it's not going that way; it's going up.
I never said that what I would toss out would be the one and only way. I told you I'm introducing now, instead of pickles, I'm introducing
oh God, now we have another friggin' vegetable.
Tacos.
Oh,
tacos.
Oh,
I'm introducing tacos. Why not?
Okay, ice creams.
We're at the ice cream parlor. Now I'm introducing tacos.
Sandwiches. Pickle. Now we have what? Tacos.
Tacos. Yeah, tacos could be for dessert. Why not?
Dessert. When did you ever see a dessert of a taco dessert?
Think they have those chocolate tacos? I don't know. The ice cream.
Well, I don't eat tacos, so maybe that's why. Well,
yes.
Yeah, I can't say that. So
I am so going to be canceled after the show. Guys, I'm going to say this. If anything happens, if I'm canceled, you know what happened. And I will say this. If that's the case, then that alone should tell you that I'm onto something. Okay?
Jeff said there's another comment coming at 9 p.m. Pacific time. Drink the Kool-Aid.
There is, okay, wait. I got to talk about this. It has nothing to do with aliens. There is a show on Netflix called, what was it? How to Be a Cult Leader?
You're not, no. You're not going to try to become the leader of.
No, what I'm saying is I watched that series. And they were talking about Jim Jones with the Kool-Aid. Like, basically, it was a series. And it was narrated by Peter Dinklage, the little guy from Game of Thrones. Very cool. Anyway. Anyway, he talked it's episode by episode that looks at different cult leaders. It talks about the Jim Jones. It talks about the Moonies. It talks about a couple other cult leaders, Manson. It talks about some of them that I've never heard of.
Himalayan. Oh my God, I forgot about the Himalayan salt.
Just think the next time you salt your food, you're eating the giants.
I'm gonna get a taco, right? I'm gonna get a taco, and then I'm gonna put ice cream in it, and then we're going to put pickles on top of it with some sea salt. Oh, wait a minute. And I got to put some cake in there too. And maybe a Danish sticking out.
Oh, and don't forget whipped cream and the cherry.
And I'll turn around and say, here's my alien.
We went so far off the alien topic, it's not even funny.
You know what, Jeff? You're absolutely right. It was How to Be a Narcissist. Yep.
Yeah.
That's
That
what I got out of it. Yep.
that series was kind of eye-opening.
I watched it too, and
Yeah.
that was pretty.
I thought it was very, very interesting
It was
how they
nuts.
examined and
Yeah. How they break it down.
yeah. But the whole idea between the comet is that's what they believed. That was the Heaven's Gate. Is that they believed that the comet was going to come in. They needed to kill themselves to rise up to the rapture because they were the chosen people, and which is
Hey,
devastating. But
I want to do I'd like to do another one show, not now, whatever, but life after death.
yes. Well, do you want to make that next week?
No, you have no. I picked this week. You pick next week.
No, 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 no. Wait. I bring the theories to you. You pick the topics. I told you, literally, you could name anything that comes to your mind, and I will have pages and pages of stuff about that topic. I mean, literally, you could have said salt, and I'm like, oh, I got some stories for you. With giants are salt.
Oh yeah, she's
The
gonna
bodies.
debunk salt. Wait a minute. Someone had said something. There was one that looked really, really cool. I'm reading. Go ahead, keep talking. You can talk.
Well,
I'm reading
Tammy mentioned about harp. If
about
anybody harp
HARP.
H A
AARP? No,
yes.
they try to get me on their program, and I'm not going to AARP.
No, it's not the
I
old
know.
people. The belief between a harp is that it's using manipulation of the weather. So they're able to manipulate the weather, which, like I said, how does a
How does one manipulate the weather? I mean, okay, that's for the next show, I guess.
sound waves, sound frequencies, energy? You have to remember, it's all energy. You manipulate the energy, you manipulate. I mean, seriously, Susana, the I can't say the word. The
Wait.
theories out there are so beyond, and they explain everything. Actually, I'm from the planet near, and the Earth is the petri dish of my desk. I need to go pray to my sky daddy that I found Bigfoot today that has been dropped by aliens. Wish me luck.
Oh my
I
god.
oh my god, I'm gonna cry. All right.
All right. I need a cigarette. Guys,
Well, we've been on it for 2 hours. So what do you think? You think this is a good spot to end the show? Or
yeah. Yeah.
okay.
Oh, Papa J, here's your petri dish.
All right, guys. Couple of things before we leave. The first thing I want to say is thank you so much. Now remember, this is for entertainment purposes only. Anything that I said, any views, anything we talked about, it is not diminishing any type
Yeah.
of beliefs, religion, or anything like that. All we want to do is provide entertainment for the fact that, like I said, you go into an ice cream shop, it's not just vanilla and chocolate. You're going to find a plethora of
Here we
flavors.
go.
Yes, that's how you look at it. So if you look at it that way, pickles have no business being in an ice cream shop, but you know something? I brought the pickles to the ice cream shop. Why
Not
not?
even a taco. She tried to introduce a taco. Guys, no. That doesn't go into an ice cream shop.
They make pickle ice cream, though. They really do.
Oh,
You
those are
can,
for the aliens.
you can get pickle ice cream. But seriously, like I said, entertainment purposes only.
Yeah.
This is just a passion of mine as far as entertainment. I like learning about different things, and I like how people come up with these theories and try to justify it through things that are observable, things that can be seen. And the question is, it's up to you to come up with your own beliefs. I'm not negating your beliefs. I'm not objecting to your beliefs.
No.
Each one of us are completely different in our own ideas. And like I said,
Absolutely.
you may think, I just hope that as of today, that maybe we provided some sort of laughter, smile, or maybe creepiness. Who knows? But that's what we're going to do one show at a time. We're going to provide some sort of entertainment. So first,
Absolutely.
I want to thank everybody for attending. And like I said, if this show gets completely canceled, and if you don't see me, then you know maybe I hit a nerve on something.
And
So
if
that's
I've
just
gone to the light,
so we'll see. Did I hit a nerve on something? No, I don't want to wish ill will or anything like that. But guys, next week I'm going to take her topic. We are going to talk about life after death. I like that topic. And I think that'll be a better topic because at least that's not so out there. This one was an out there one. It was out there. Guys, have a great day. Oh, as far as this week, I will be back on you know something, Saturday I'm confused because I'm scheduled for 3 different shows on Saturday. I got 3 shows on Saturday.
oh my God.
But tomorrow I'm taking the day off. So guys, have a great day. Enjoy.
Yeah.
Keep smiling. And we will see you soon. Until next time, take care,
Bye.
everyone. Bye. Oh, you know something? I'll do this creepy show. So here, let's do this.